Welcome to this explainer. Have you ever looked at a sentence you just wrote and felt it was, well, just a bit flat? Today, we're unlocking an absolute superpower for your grammar toolkit, adverbs. Think of them as literally the special effects for your sentences, taking those standard everyday verbs and injecting them with texture, timing, and direction. Okay, let's dive into this. How do we actually describe an action? We use adjectives for things, right? Like a red car or a fluffy dog. But without a way to add flavor to movement, our communication is left kind of vague and, frankly, uninspired. We end up with these flat sentences that leave our listeners totally guessing about the details. Let's look at a quick comparison. She walks. Okay, it's functional, sure, but it completely lacks context. Now, listen to the upgrade. She walks slowly. Instantly, a picture forms in your head, doesn't it? Is she exhausted? Is she strolling through a park? Maybe she's trying not to wake a sleeping baby? That single word breathes real life into the action. We've given it depth. So the absolutely crucial point here is understanding this core definition. At their core, adverbs describe actions, are verbs, but they can also amplify adjectives or even other adverbs. They do this by answering three highly specific questions for us. How did it happen? When did it happen? Or where did it happen? If adjectives are the tools we use to dress up our nouns, adverbs are the specialized high-performance tools we use to dress up our actions. Let's break down these three distinct powers, starting with power number one, adverbs of manner. This is the how. When you use an adverb of manner, you are showing your audience exactly how an action is being done. It's the style, the speed, the volume, or the emotion behind the verb. This is where you literally get to be the director of your own movie, telling the actors exactly how they need to perform their scene. And this brilliantly illustrates a reliable, really simple visual math of grammar. For most adverbs of manner, we just take a standard adjective, like quick, plug an ly onto the end of it, and boom, we get quickly. He ran quickly. We take quiet, add ly, and get quietly. They spoke quietly. Take careful, add ly, and get carefully. It is basically an instant upgrade formula to show exactly how an action is performed. Let's move to and see how this builds, because actions don't just happen in a vacuum, right? They happen in real life. And that brings us to our next set of tools, adverbs of time and adverbs of place. These are what anchor our actions in time and space, giving listeners the essential context of exactly when an event is taking place and where the event is taking place. Looking at adverbs of time, these tell us exactly when an action happens, words like tomorrow, yesterday, and now. What's wonderfully convenient about these adverbs is their placement. They usually sit neatly at the very beginning or the very end of a sentence. That makes them incredibly easy to deploy when you're constructing your own narrative. Now for the where. Adverbs of place tell us exactly where an action occurs, which is absolutely vital for making your instructions and your descriptions crystal clear. Please put the box here. Here is the adverb. It modifies the verb put by telling you exactly where the putting should happen. The children are playing outside. Outside modifies playing. Without these adverbs, we just have people holding boxes, looking completely confused, and we wouldn't even know where to find the kids. Let me give you one of my absolute favorite examples. Imagine the sheer panic of a busy morning. I looked everywhere for my keys. Do you feel that? The word everywhere is an adverb of place, but it doesn't just give us a location, it completely changes the emotional weight of the action. You didn't just look, you looked everywhere. It shows desperation, it shows thoroughness. That is the true power of a perfectly chosen adverb. So now that we have the theory down, how, when, and where, let's do a rapid-fire mental check. I'm going to pull 3 sentences right from our source material. Let's see if you can spot the adverb and its specific superpower. First up, the dog barked loudly. Look at the action and spot the modifier. Is it telling us how, when, or where? It's loudly. This is a classic adverb of manner, answering how the dog barked. It's a simple ly addition that totally shifts the volume of the whole sentence. Okay, next one. We are going to the movies tonight. Which word is the hidden upgrade modifying the action of going, and what question is it answering? If you guessed tonight, you absolutely nailed it. Tonight acts as an adverb of time to tell us when. And, true to form, it sits right at the end of the sentence to give us that crucial context. All right, final challenge sentence. He looked up at the sky. This one is a little bit more subtle. Where is the modifying word here one last time?
Now, what's really interesting about this is the tiny word up. It is actually an adverb of place, telling us exactly where he looked. It entirely directs the verb. If you swap it out for down, well, you have a completely different narrative, right?
So we've seen how adverbs take flat actions and give them vibrant life by clarifying the how, when, and where. So I'll leave you with this. Which adverb will you use to upgrade your next conversation? Will you speak confidently today? Will you listen closely? Don't let your verbs do all the heavy lifting alone. Give them an upgrade and watch your communication completely transform. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I will see you next time.